Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back. If you're new, welcome, welcome. My name is Georgia. So we are going to do a recap and a review of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode 2, titled Double Trouble. So we're still at the birthday party that, the Hatitude birthday party that Giselle put together for Karen. Remember, we left off where, Mia believes that Karen and Giselle were questioning her parenting skills, saying that she hoped that Mia didn't mix Gordon and her new boyfriend. And you know, the statement made feel real bad, and she got up and she was crying because Mia tend to have a tough skin, but when it comes to her kids, it's a lot. So she got up and she went to the bathroom, and two of her friends followed her. I think it was Jacqueline and another one of her friends followed her in there. Try to calm her down, let her know that, nobody is questioning. We all know you're a great mom, so I don't think that's what they meant. But at the same time, Giselle kept the party going, and she gave Wendy a bucket hat. And she gave Stacy and I think Jacqueline by then had come back to the table. She gave them like a derby hat, I think, saying that, because they're new to the group or returning to the group, that she don't really have an opinion of them yet. So because of that, she's giving them that particular hat. We also had Mia return to the table. Giselle and Karen apologized for making her feel inadequate about being a mother, and they told her that that is not what we were trying to do. So they backed off of Mia for now, but I'm sure they're gonna come with it. With that, now with her giving out different hats, Giselle invited Dr. Wendy to have lunch with her the next day, and she wouldn't move on until Dr. Wendy agreed to have lunch with her. So yeah, that's where we left it. So now we have, we left the party. We have checking in on everyone at home. We see Ray making Karen some coffee. And who else did we see? We just checked in on everybody one by one. And now we have Giselle and Wendy having lunch. We have Giselle getting there first, Wendy showing up. It was quite awkward for quite a long time between the two of them, until they were giving each other kind of sideways compliments, where we have Giselle telling Dr. Wendy, "Ooh, I see the feathers. What does that mean?" And Wendy was like, coming to you with open arms like a bird's wing. And she's doing this, she's doing that flapping motion with her arm, so you see the feathers blowing in the wind. So with that now, they finally ordered. They didn't have the drink that Wendy wanted, so she had to order something else. And then they get to talking, and it was tense, like I said, between the two. I think the whole gist of the conversation, they still don't really like each other, in my opinion. Yes, they may have gotten through it, but I don't think they really like each other still. So Giselle told Dr. Wendy that, you tend to talk down to people, and it's not received very well. So that's something you need to work on. And yeah, basically, I thought that seed could have gone quicker, faster. Get us out of here. Eat your food. Let's go. Of course, Wendy told Giselle, "Thank you for lunch," meaning that you're the one paying. You invited me, so don't think I'm paying for this. And they moved on. But then they also talked about what happened at the Hatitude party. Wendy told her she thought that was nice of her to throw Karen the party, and she thought that Jacqueline was kind of coming at Karen. But there was a conversation had around that. But honestly, that whole scene I could have did without. Okay, so now we're getting to know a little bit more about Stacy. We see her at home. She's with her daughter and her daughter's nanny. They're practicing her daughter's speaking Spanish because she's about to go to Mexico with her dad for spring break. We find out her daughter also speaks German, so as she says, she's trilingual. She tells us how the situation is Her husband, who she's separated from, still lives at home. She has two homes. She has one there in Maryland and she has an apartment in DC. So whenever he comes home, she finds a reason to be in DC working. They're trying to keep it from her daughter that they're going through it until everything is final. So she's telling us that they are in the same house. They sleep in separate rooms. And whenever he comes to town, she goes to DC. And whenever he goes out of town, she comes back into Maryland. So they're making it work. However, they're doing it. So they were talking about her daughter traveling to Mexico with her dad and how she's getting ready for that trip. So we leave them there. And then we go to Karen and Giselle. So Karen comes over to Giselle's house. Giselle is making her cookies. So they're having cookies and tea. Giselle asks her, so did you like the party that I put together for you? Karen says, yes, but I thought it was kind of you trying to get information. It was kind of shady, she said to her. And Giselle was like, what? Let me get you some water, girl, because you tripping. So they talk about that. They talk about she talked about a friend who did not get invited to the party, which was, what's her name? Kay. Oh, Kay had visited with Karen earlier, and they talked about it. So now Karen is at Giselle, so she's like, you didn't invite Kay to the birthday party. You know, her and I are friends. So Giselle said we were at capacity, and that's why she didn't come, but I will invite her to the GNA event. Karen tells Giselle that she has an event the same day as the GNA event, but it's earlier, and she's gonna make sure that she's there. She's like, I'm gonna be there for you. So Giselle was like, what time is your event? She's like, I'm not sure, girl. It's sometime earlier in the day, but I'm gonna be there for you. Now Giselle gets in the confessional and tells us that she already saw the flyer for the event that Karen is talking about, her being honored, and she said she saw the list of honorees and Karen was not on that list. But some people said they couldn't make it, so she thinks that Karen kind of forced herself onto that list because she is considered the grande dame, and in those parts of the world, status is everything. So she feels that Karen forced her way onto the list. She knows that the time of the event, but she's not gonna bring it up to Karen. She's gonna watch and see how she does it. Remember, Giselle is doing the GNA event, and she is tying it in with a charity for her father, who recently passed away within the year from a brain tumor. She said her dad went and had a CAT scan done, and 12 days later he was gone because they caught it so late. They saw it so late. So she's saying that the event is for her dad. She already invited all the ladies while they were at Karen's party. She's like, I'm having an event for my dad. Everyone is welcome. And we saw that on camera. And now Karen is telling her that there's an event the same day for her being honored as the day of her event for the GNA. Remember, everything is within a certain time frame. So I believe the GNA event is from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And the event for Karen is also from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right. She left Karen's house. No, not saying anything. She said the following morning now, 6 o'clock in the morning, she gets up to a text from Karen and sending a mass text to the group about the event for her award. And she is sending a Sprinter van to pick up everybody. I guess they're meeting at a certain spot to pick up everybody. And Giselle, to her point, says, you know what? This isn't right because Karen knows that my event was already, I sent the invitation to all the ladies already. How is it she's going to do this to me knowing that the event is for my dad, and after she's gone through a loss of her parents and how distraught she was? So how could she do this? So, okay. Now the ladies are on, the car picks them up, and wait, before we get, that would be the last scene, but before we get to that scene, we guess we're getting Stacy, acclimated to everybody. So her and Ashley came to her house and they went on a walk, and Stacy was telling Ashley about her living situation, And Ashley was like, girl, you live in that house with you and that man? And Stacey was like, yeah. And Ashley was like, take it from me, it's not going to turn out good, because we know if you're in close proximity with him and you're going through a divorce, things could turn around. So Stacey's telling Ashley that she is dating someone, but it has not been intimate. She said that he's a Christian and he wants to wait till marriage. It's been a few months. They know they're in love and they're gonna move forward, but there's no they have not been intimate. And what's her name? Oh God, what's her? Ashley. Ashley was like, "What, girl? You haven't had any in how many months? And you're good with that?" She said, "So what do you guys do?" She said that they pray. She said, "Is there heavy petting and stuff?" She was like, "We can't because it's too tempting." She said, "We do a lot of praying, we go to church, and we work out a lot." Ashley said, "Well, I'll give it to you, girl, because it couldn't be me. I could not be not intimate with somebody for so long. So, and especially if we are attracted to each other." So I'm assuming that Stacey's gonna get married soon, but she has to get divorced first. She can't be like Trisha and on Love and Marriage Huntsville, where she is still married and have this man living in her house. So hey, we gonna see how things work out. So now we're at the event now we're going back and forth between Karen's event and Giselle's event. We see all the ladies, some of the ladies meet up at a certain spot and they get on the Sprinter van. We have Stacey bringing it up like, can we talk about this text? Because I find it strange that, I would get an invite to Karen's event on the same day that we have Giselle's event. She's like, isn't that kind of wrong? And the lady's like, you know what? We're going to have to figure it out and work it out. So they got to Karen's event. And they took some photos and then they were out because they know they had to make it across town within 25 minutes to make it into Giselle's and Ashley's event, or else Giselle is going to be mad. So they showed up. Their plan was to be there for 8 o'clock, to be there for the last hour, because it's from 6 to 9. So they planned to be there for the last hour, and they walked in at 8:04. Giselle saw them coming and they were like, nah, y'all gotta go, y'all gotta go, y'all gotta go. They were like, oh my God, this is so nice in here. They tried to ignore it. Giselle throwing them out. Giselle wasn't having it. She called security like, William, come get them out of here. And that is where the episode ended. So, of course, it's going to be continued. We have Kay not going to the event because, if you guys know, last season there was a huge fight. It didn't make it onto the show, but it was on social media. We saw the fight. That was at the first GNA event, Giselle and Ashley Leisure Wear, where they had the fashion show. I believe she had a fight with one of Ashley's friends. And she said, you know what? Based on what happened last year, I'm going to sit this one out. I will not be going. Giselle is kicking everybody out. Karen feels that she is more important than Giselle because the lady showed up for her. I'm thinking if Karen didn't send that Sprinter van for those ladies, everyone would have gone to Giselle's event because she invited them out first. And I believe that's what they should have done. They accepted the invitation. They should have gone to Giselle's event. And Karen, I'm sorry, let your other friends come out for you. Even her good friend Vivian didn't even go to Karen's event. And Giselle was like, but Giselle to Vivian was like, you are Karen's friend. I'm surprised you're not there. And to Vivian's point of view, kudos to Vivian. You know, you have some ethics. She said, you invited me first. So therefore, this is where I am. And I see that Jacqueline also did not go to Karen's event. She showed up at Giselle's and Ashley's event. And she said, you guys invited me first. Therefore, that's why I'm here. So I'm guessing in the next episode, Giselle are going to let the ladies have it. Especially Mia, because she's been there the longest. She's going to let them have it regarding going to Karen's event and not showing up to her event on time. Even though they were only 4 minutes late. And to the ladies' point, some of them said, you know, it takes hella long for them to get out of the Sprinter van and get set up because the cameras got to come out and get set up, the lighting and everything for them to start filming. So I'm sure that they were there before 8 o'clock. However, having to film everything, let them be a little bit late stepping into the building. But Giselle was not about to have it. So yeah, we're still starting off. This is only episode 2 of season 9. So we're starting off hot already. It's starting to gear up. I'm sure that Giselle is not going to let Karen get away with hijacking her event, for lack of a better word. You knew what was happening, yet you snuck in there and invited the ladies, sent them a sprinter van and everything to make sure that they showed up to where you were. So I'm sure that's gonna come up, and I want to see where it goes with Stacy and her divorce and her dating and stuff. So she's pretty interesting. So yeah, we're getting off to a nice start with season 9. So we'll just continue to watch and give our opinions. You know how it is. Your reality TV, you put your life out there. We're going to watch and give our opinions. So that is it, my recap and my review. And I really think that Giselle really needs to act to get on Karen about what she did. They called Ashley to tell them that, they were coming. They were going to be there by 8. Ashley's like, please be here by 8 or it's going to be some mess. We see Ashley pick up her Corona and walk over to Giselle and tell her what was happening. So this is going to turn into a big deal. But the ladies tried. They tried to support both of their friends. But I feel that Karen should not have done what she did. I'm saying Karen is in the wrong on this one. The ladies were first invited to Giselle. Karen knew what time she was being honored. She knew what time Giselle's event was. And she hijacked her event as far as taking her guests. So that's where we are. The ladies were even willing to split up and jump in an Uber to go across town. But no, it didn't work out like that. So we'll see what happened in episode 3, guys. Again, I thank you for watching, listening to this recap and review. Make sure that you check out all the links in the description box. Go down, click them, check them out. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and be sure to take care of yourselves and your families. See you next time, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.